Today we're going to be doing a little pre-bow season work out in here on our micro plot. I've actually got most of this plot. It's about maybe 1/8 of an acre micro plot planted in clover and chicory. The back section we didn't plant when we came in here and cleaned this up this spring, only because it wasn't part of the initial cleanup that we came in here with the tractor and moved some dirt around. So the rest of it's just been kind of grown up. We didn't disc it up or didn't do anything special with it. So I came in here last week, went ahead and sprayed a portion of it. I'm going to continue spraying today. I've got a 3-gallon hand sprayer, and I've got some just general herbicide. It's 41% glyphosate. I'm going to go ahead and go in and around these tree tubes and start spraying the rest of the overgrown weeds, so I can come back in here with a weed eater, clear it out, and create that open soil so that I can actually come back in here and plant the rest of it in clover and chicory. And then I'm going to top dress it eventually too with some ryegrass. If you plant it in the fall, it'll come back in the spring, so I'm definitely going to try to do that. It's August 4th now here in Indiana, and bow season is right around the corner. It opens up October 1st. So I just want to have a good section back here. I can get it in an early bow season, and it's pretty close to a bottom or a bowl where a lot of deer bed back there, and I think it's going to be a good spot come October 1st. So one thing I'd like to mention is last time I was out here doing some habitat work, bugs are pretty bad this time of year. So bug repellent, this is called BioShield. I just want to make sure I douse my clothes in permethrin just to kind of kill any insects that crawl on you. I had a real bad case of the chiggers last time I was out here, and don't want that to happen again, so stay tuned. So this is the section of the micro plot that I'm actually going to go ahead and finish spraying. We got the first, I would say, half of this 1/8 of an acre micro plot planted midsummer, and it has gotten some use by the deer. I've got a trail camera over it. Haven't pulled the car yet, but I can definitely tell just by the activity in here that the deer have been hitting it. It's going to get a lot better once the fall rolls around, and this is still lush and green, so that's why I want to come back in here and plant the rest of this, get some sand set up, and then basically have this be one of our initial early bow season spots. We do have a couple other food plots planted so far. We've got some beans out there, and I want to go ahead and get some brassicas and cereal grains in some of those other sections, and probably use the rest of the beans out. So I'll probably end up with mostly larger food plots this year, and then a couple micro plots here and there. But I'm just changing it up a little bit this year, putting some micro plots back into cover, into some sections that we clear cut. We did clear cut this in the spring, and it looks really good in here. I planted quite a few white oaks back in here. If you go back to some of our earlier videos, you'll see some of that action that I did over the winter into early spring. The trees are coming up really good, and I think probably in the next 6 to 10 years they should be out of the tree tubes, putting most of this in a canopy. So I'm just going to utilize it right now for the best that I can. Go ahead and make it a micro plot for the time being, and then once the white oaks actually get a little bit bigger, they're going to start putting off some acorns, and it'll still be a very good early bow season spot. I'm going to go ahead and get started spraying. So after watching the last time, after I sprayed, I went and checked my tree tubes. None of the trees seem to be affected. I would probably recommend trying to keep most of your spray away from the underside of your tree tubes if you're trying to grow some white oaks or different types of fruit trees around your plots. But as long as you got it in a tree tube, you're probably going to be okay just using a Roundup herbicide when you're actually coming out here to kill all the weeds, expose the soil, and plant your food plots. Well, it's Friday, August 6th. I'm coming in here for the third spraying in this micro plot. I've got my sprayer ready. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this out, try to kill everything else in here, all the weeds that have haven't quite died off yet. And then after that, I'm going to come in here on Sunday and go ahead and plant this in clover and chicory and top dress it with ryegrass. We got some rain on the forecast coming on Monday and Tuesday, so I think it'll be a good time to plant once I get this cleaned up. And then I'll probably come back mid-September, show you an update, show you what it looks like. But I think it's going to be a great section in here. I've got plans to put a couple stands on opposite sides of the plot. I've got a mock scrape in here, and I've got another area I'm probably going to drill a hole through this post and put some oak limbs in, make another scrape on the other side of this plot. So got a lot of plans for this small area, but if you really, basically draw it out in your head or even on a piece of paper what you want to do with it and figure out your access points, stand placement, and all the other features you can update beforehand, I think you can do a lot with a small area. So stay tuned until we get back in here in mid-September, show you what it looks like, and we'll give you an update once that comes. Well, just got done weed eating the other half of this food plot. So I can come back in here tomorrow and plant. I'm gonna spray it one more time because I brought water down here. The spraying didn't do a whole lot against some of the small trees, but killed a lot of it. But I just want to make sure I have good ground contact when I come in here and plant the rest of the clover and chicory and ryegrass. So I've got it all cleaned up. It was a lot of weed eating to get this done in here, but we got rain on the forecast Monday and Tuesday, so I think after I spray it one more time, now that everything is gone, I think it'll kill most of everything left on the surface, and then it'll be a lot of exposed dirt in here, hopefully by the time the rain comes. So that glyphosate, it's a post-emergent, which means it only kills what's already growing. So I'm gonna spray that one more time in here. Should kill everything else left on top. Get the spraying done, plant the rest of this, and come September 15th or so, I'll come back in here and show you what it looks like. Well, it's Sunday, August 8th. I've gone ahead and came back out to the farm real quick to plant the remaining section of this micro plot. As you can see, we've sprayed this and killed all the weeds in here, and we're gonna go ahead and plant it with some Northwoods Seclusion 360 blends, what I planted the other half of this food plot in. And I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in, and hopefully after it rains tonight, we'll get the rest of this sprouted, and then go ahead and come back in here and put some ryegrass in the spots that didn't fill in all the way, and get our stands put in here. And then after that, should be ready to go for early bow season come October 1st. So I'll give you an update after we get this done, and we'll go ahead and show you what it looks like when we're finished. Well, welcome back out to the food plot. I wanted to give you an update. It's October 16th. I didn't quite get a chance to come in here and show you what the food plot looks like mid-September. We didn't get as much rain this fall as I was hoping to get. It definitely started raining quite a bit recently, and the food plot definitely came in really well. If you can see through here, we've got a variety of different food plot blends. I've seeded it with some chicory and clover, and I wasn't sure if that was going to come in real well, so I went ahead and added some green machine in there. And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some winter wheat, oats, winter peas, forage rape, and radish. And I even put some Northwoods Whitetail rye in there. So it's starting to come in really well, and I think it's going to be a great late season food source. It's going to last well into the winter. There's not much else to feed the deer. So thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the box below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.